The West Asian region remains tense due to war and escalations. Iran has begun the construction of its fourth homegrown nuclear reactor in Isfahan. The chief of Atomic Energy Organization, or Iran AEOI, Mohammad Eslami, said that the research reactor is being constructed in Isfahan to create a powerful source of neutron for a variety of applications. Now, Islami further said that the plan for construction began last year, and the 10-megawatt research reactor will become Iran's fourth nuclear reactor in the central region of the Islamic Republic. It is pertinent to note here that Iran's nuclear program has been the subject of international criticism and backlash. But Tehran has always insisted that its efforts are entirely peaceful, denying any ambitions of developing the nuclear weapons in the West Asian region. Since 2018, Iran has been under sanctions imposed by the United States due to its nuclear activities. Former US President Donald Trump withdrew Washington from the nuclear deal, which granted Tehran relief from international sanctions, and in return for curbs on its nuclear activities designed to prevent it from developing an atomic warhead. According to the AEOI chief Mohammad Eslami, Iran aims to achieve the production capacity of 20,000 megawatts of nuclear power by the year 2041. According to reports, Russia holds the maximum number of nuclear warheads in the world, and that figure stands at 5,889. Russia is followed by the US with a figure of 5,224. And then comes China with 410, France with 290, United Kingdom with 225, Pakistan with 170, India with 164 warheads, Israel with 90, and North Korea with 30 nuclear warheads.
Let's shift our focus now. A series of Israeli airstrikes on the southern Gaza town of Rafah killed at least 52 people. As per Gaza officials, the strikes hit 14 houses and 3 mosques in different parts of Rafah. Mediators held talks in Cairo for a pause in the fighting and the release of around 130 hostages, Israel says, are still in Gaza, including 29 thought to be dead. Hamas seized over 200 hostages on the 7th of October, and dozens were released during a one-week truce in November. Hamas's military wing on Sunday said 2 hostages had been killed and 8 others seriously wounded in Israeli bombardment in recent days. The group's claim has not been independently verified yet. 2 Israeli hostages have been rescued from Hamas captivity early this morning. Israeli military says they were held in Rafah. Netanyahu, meanwhile, is facing calls for an early election and mounting protests over his administration's failure to bring home the hostages.
The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) of Iran claimed it fired 2 long-range ballistic missiles from the Shahid Mahdavi warship in the Gulf of Oman.
The missiles, with a claimed range of at least 1,700 kilometers, hit targets in a desert in central Iran. The exercise was intended to be a simulated test strike against an Israeli base. Here's a report for more on this.
An unconventional warning on Capitol Hill. Chairman Mike Turner of the House Intelligence Committee summoning his fellow members of Congress to a secure room at the Capitol to review what he called a, quote, serious national security threat. Turner wants the White House to declassify the material so it can be shared with American allies. While members of Congress refuse to share what they learned, 3 sources familiar with the matter tell NBC News Russia is developing a space-based nuclear weapon designed to target U.S. satellites. Satellites serve as a crucial backbone for U.S. civilian communications, navigation, military operations, and intelligence gathering. The sources adding the weapon is not yet operational. The White House is reviewing its options.
We believe that we can and will and are protecting the national security of the United States.
On Capitol Hill, members entered the secure space, but couldn't say much when they left.
I think I'll allow, the president and the executive branch to opine about what this means.
And while everyone agreed the threat is serious, they told the public they did not need to worry.
I want to assure the American people there is no need for public alarm. We are going to work together to address this matter.
This warning comes as a $95 billion national security supplemental package, which includes funding for Ukraine, passed the Senate, but is now stalled in the House. Republicans insistent they won't move funding overseas until the situation at the southern border is under control. But that's not all. The House is yet to approve the reauthorization of a federal surveillance program that intel leaders believe is essential to fighting terrorism and helping support the U.S. military. Some members of the GOP believe the program encroaches too much on the average American's privacy. A planned vote for this week was postponed.
And the White House will brief the so-called Gang of 8, which is the 4 congressional leaders and 4 intel chairs and ranking members next week. They will then weigh if declassifying this information is possible. Savannah?
All right, Ryan Noble is on Capitol Hill. Thank you, Ryan.